Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd, and yes, I got the new Mantenna, and he looks pretty cool, and he's going to be part of my Monsters of the Universe, guys, and we're going to check him out and see what he's all about, and compare him to some of the figures of the past. Let's first take a look at the back of the box, and you can see here we got the figure, looks really cool, and then we have different ways you can make him look, and other figures in the line, including the Anti-Eternia He-Man, Mosquitor, and Mantenna. I don't know why they put him on his own box, but whatever. Cool. I did get Mosquitor 2. He's sitting over here, waiting to be opened, and we'll open him some other time in the near future. So, with that, let's go ahead and dive into some history of Mantenna. So, Mantenna was one of the original Horde figures, and if you guys didn't know, the figures are based on the Universal monsters, and so he's very bug-like. If you'll look at him, it's like the human bug or human fly coming to life. And he's got a cool action feature. When you slide this up, his eyes pop out. Bum, bum, bum. And he was featured in the She-Ra cartoon as part of the evil Horde. Now, what's crazy is back in the day when they made him, they gave him 4 legs, but really, they only gave him 2. And so it was always kind of a weird thing where you got 4 legs. And I've thought many times about taking and trying to cut these apart and trying to make my own 4-legged creature a long time ago before classics came out. But I always loved the way the arms looked. Like, I made a character one time using these arms and I called him Bruiser. Just because the way they're shaped, it looks like he's like some tough guy walking in a bar. Bump, 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 bump. He's going to take you out, man. So, cool. Now, in the cartoon, his eyes were yellow. And so some people would paint these yellow. And I actually had one I painted a long time ago where I fixed the eyes and repainted them. This one has not been fixed and repainted. He still has the yucky scratches all over his eyes. But you can see kind of how that all works and looks. All right, so this was the original Mantenna from the Horde set, and there he is. So, next we got the classics. Bump, 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 bump. And what set the classics apart was that he had 4 real legs. 4 real legs. And so it was kind of cool because now you can actually see the interpretation of what this guy looked like. And so it's kind of cool the way they did him. He has some stuff from the cartoon and some stuff from the toy kind of mixed. They gave him the yellow, they gave him the yellow eyes, as you can see, and they're removable. Plunk. And then you take and put the other eyes in its place. So you have them in the sockets or out of the sockets. I always made sure they were out. It just makes much more sense. I guess you got to aim them right, though. Otherwise they look like they're all cattywampus. There we go. And they kept the very essence of the figure the same, though, just like the original toy, but just updated him to look way cooler. So he was a really cool looking figure. Now, what's funny is years and years ago, a friend of mine at work was talking about his son's He-Man figures, and he was telling me about all these crazy names that he'd make up for him. And one of the names he made up was Sphinxtor. Sphinxtor, like Skeletor, Sphinxtor. And he said, the guy has a butt face. And I didn't realize who it was till later, but if you take a look at the way his mouth is, it looks like the starfish on the back of a cat. And so this is the figure he was talking about when he was talking about Butthead, or no, Sphinxtor. So at first I thought he meant Butthead from New Adventures, but he actually meant this guy here and called him Sphinxtor because of the way his mouth was. Now, when Classics came out, they fixed that crazy mouth issue by giving us these actual teeth, and it just looks so much more vicious. Such a cool character. You know, like him, he's okay, but it's him. Oh, yes, so cool. So, then we had Origins. And they went back to the Sphinxtor head. Sphinxtor. But they gave us the buggly eyes still, but it's attached to his head. And he is very reminiscent of the original figure. As you can see, there's a lot of similarities to it, except they broke the legs out. Hooray! They gave us all 4 legs, but the vintage feel. The coloring's a little different than the vintage one, but it is cool how we can now see how this figure should have been made way back in the 80s Of course, you wouldn't have knee joints or elbow joints, so the shoulders wouldn't move up and down, just left and right, or back and forth. But you can kind of get the idea of what Mattel was going for when they made this guy. So kind of cool to actually see what the design should have been originally. Now, what's strange is on this one, you can really see the detailing of Hordak's face and his chest. It's not very pronounced, but you can actually see each line. It's very well defined. You know, let me get a flashlight here. I know it's a black light one, so it may not work. I guess it kind of works. And you can see the detailing and the sharp edges. Now, the Origins, it gave us a softer look. It doesn't have quite the sharp edges that we got with the original one from the 80s, which is kind of funny. You'd think that with the new production, it would be much clearer and sharper. And you can see the difference. Let me pull his arm off. Oh! You can see the difference in these about just how this has crisp lines and this one's kind of soft lines in it. All right. How strange. It's like this top edge should have been painted red instead of orange. Okay, that's fine though. Still cool. All right, so let's put his arm back on. And then we got a surprise from the closet. No, not the surprise gift from the closet. Yes, and that is this version here. Now this version here is really cool in that it's based on the cartoon solely, and he has his eyes bug out too, just like in the She-Ra cartoon. And they did a really good job on this guy. Now I was tempted to get two of them just so I can put black boots on all 4 feet, because it seems weird his back feet would he bare with the black boots not bare in the front. But I guess it was that way in the cartoon, so they copied it. But I did not get a second one yet, and I don't know if I will. But there he is. And of course, they got a cool mouth on him too. It doesn't have the weird Sphinx door look to it. Now his eyes do look kind of droopy the way they're going with, or derpy, or you say that word, because they're kind of going different directions. But that is a fun feature. Now, I'm not a fan about how skinny he is, because I do like some bulk to my figures, but that's the way he was in the cartoon, so that's the way they made the toy. So there we go. So now, whew, after all that history, the history of Mantenna. Now let's break it to the box and check out the actual figure itself. Look at that box art. That is so cool looking. And this is one of my keepers. He is going to end up being one of my monsters of the universe that I like so much to collect. Oh, I got more tape. More tape. I guess I could have pulled out the book and showed you guys the original design for Mantenna, but that's okay though. Maybe some other time, some other... Oh man, he looks monstrous. Look at that. You know what? Let's see, I was so excited to pull them out. I forgot to do the Cracker Jack prize first. Cracker Jack prize time. Let's see what we got in the Cracker Jack prize. One red envelope. The envelope, please. And we got... some... What? We got eye sockets, and the eyeballs are separate. That is crazy. I just figured one part that would stick on there. You can make one just big super stretched eyeball. Like it's looking around a corner or something. That is hilarious. Well, that has a lot of playability. Alright, let's get rid of the box. And let's get him out of here. Let's first take a look at his eyeball weapon. So, it looks to me like we have both the yellow eyes, like Filmation. They're actually orange in color. And then we have the bloodshot eyes, like the original toy. Now, he does look kind of fish-facey to me. More than I would like, but that's okay. I like him to look more bug-like than fish-like, but we'll see when you get him out of here. Gotta cut all 4 legs loose. Ugh. There he is. There he is. And I'm going to zoom so close you can't even see. All right, let's talk about articulation. The articulation, we have foot articulation, no boot cut, single jointed knee. We have a hip rotator, and the leg moves up here, and it looks like all the legs are the same around when it comes to articulation points. Then we have a waist that turns, and then we have his shoulder movement, bicep cut, double jointed elbows, and then this wrist goes back and forth, and this wrist goes back and forth as well. All right, and then of course his head moves, and oh, it doesn't. Oh no, Mattel! I saw the mouth, and I thought for sure the mouth was articulated. I was all excited to try it out. I mean, they made it a separate piece of rubber. Why didn't they articulate that thing? Oh, I see. You pull that off to get to the eyeballs. That is weird. They should have given him a different faceplate. Well, there's got to be a way to articulate that. Gaben Z Dynam eyeballs. That eyeball is stuck in there. See, it still looks fish-like. Even like that, looks like a skull of a fish. I think it's the teeth and the mouth, the way it's shaped. Those eyeballs are done stuck in there. Oh, there we go. I think I'm getting this one. Ah, hooray! We got one eyeball out. Hooray, we got the other eyeball out. So now we can stick in the extensions, because I'm going to leave his eyeballs out all the time. Oh, creepy. It's so weird because they don't just go straight out, they go up and out. And I'm going to use of course, the ones with the bloodshot eyes. Blah! See, now I can see around things. Whoop. I can see around this flashlight. See, in a dense forest, he'd be good to have on your side because you can see really 3D. I gotta check something out. Are these the exact same? Are they opposites of each other? Okay, they're not the same. Cool. I was afraid it might have been just the same part produced twice, but it is not. You can have him have really droopy eyes. See, when he's really sad, his eyes go below his face. That is funny. Interesting. All right. His armor comes off? What? Okay, we're going to have to experiment a little bit with this guy. I was not expecting that. I figured his armor was part of his body. Look at that. And another articulation point way up here. Wow, that's cool. And this is like a clear piece on there. I'm not sure what the what for is. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Two things I do not like about him, and that is his red hands and his red feet. I wish they would have gone with the standard blue, like we've seen on all the other figures throughout the whole line, or black for the boots. Because we've seen from day one, blue feet. Later on, blue feet. Later on, dark blue feet. And later on, black boots and blue feet. So I'm not sure what the deal with the red hands and the red feet are. If that's from the original Okay, it's time to pull the book out. We're going to have to look at the book. Look at the book and see if there was a different... It is time for the Power and Honor Foundation book. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. Now, if you guys have not seen this book yet, I'm sure everyone by now has that watches my channel. If you ever get a chance to buy this book, just buy it. Do not look at the price. Just purchase it. It is the coolest book in the world if you're a He-Man fan and you love the lore and how things came about. Once in a while I see them on eBay, and as soon as I do, I post them on my page on Facebook for people to buy. And it is really cool. It's really hard to get these, so if you ever happen to get a chance to get one, do not hesitate. Don't hesitate. Yes, you will be in sticker shock, but it is well worth it. Oh, there's the Roger Sweet figures. That's so cool. They were based on Big Jim with clay on them. It's so cool. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here for Mantenna. Oh. Of course, I've shown this book so many times to you guys. You're probably like, yeah, we've seen the book. We know it. We don't need to buy it. You show it to us enough. Ugh, the pages are stuck with my fingers. See, there's the sketchbook figure. The Target exclusive. Pow, wham, bam. He's like Batman. That just cracks me up. The Prince Adam looking too bad. A good guy and a bad guy in the same person. Oh, that's funny. In my mind, I thought the evil witch lady had a pointed hat because there's so many customs of her with a pointed hat. That is funny. She does not have a witch hat. Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay, so here is the original Mantenna. Sorry, I got lights all over the place, so it's hard to... There we go. And you can see the way they drew him. He's got like fur here on his ears. His eyes do come way up. And it does have that clear looking bulbous thing like we saw with the new one. But his hands are still purplish blue. And he has Horde boots on all 4 legs. So you can see this is the original design. He was supposed to have 4 separate legs. And here's another design of him. Oh, this one has the red legs. There we go. That's probably where they got the idea for the red legs. Or the red feet. But he also has red knees. It looks almost like oh, what is his name? The red guy with all the pieces you build. Modulok. Almost like Modulok. And he does have some kind of weird weapon, which is reminiscent of the new one. It's got the coil around it. Not quite the same, but similar. Alright, well, I'm glad we looked at that so we can see what it looks like. So now we know where the red hands and red feet came from, the second illustration of him. So there he is. And let's pop in those yellow eyes to see what, just to see what it looks like. Ugh. So if you're going to pop them in, you're going to have to first pull off the face. Oh! And just pop those yellow eyes in there. Stick the face back on. I just wish that mouth would move. Oh, such a lost cool feature I could have been. Alright, let's stick his weapon on his hand. No crossbow. How crazy is that? And then you can add an eyeball to the weapon. It's just kind of weird when you think about it. One of his eyes is out there. All right, I'm gonna try something now. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. I watched too much Batman. Michael Keaton. You could put one of each eye in there. That's a little crazy. But here is the crazy part. Geben Sie Dynamite. Stick this. Well, let's put the face on first. He's a pirate. He's missing an eye. Arr, you matey. Stick that there. Stick this here. And then stick on this eye. Here. And you could just take and have a super long eyeball do all kinds of crazy things. And you could really see around something now. I spy with my little eye. I mean, think how crazy that would be that you could have him look around corners during a gun battle or something. Looking around like a... Let me get a wall really quick here. Okay, here's a wall. The doorway here. And he could just sneak around the wall here. See who's coming. That is so crazy. Oh, it's I. I saw your eye. Oh. Yes. The fun you can have. Oh, it's even funnier. You could take and attach both of these to the gun to like it's his waist so you can see, not make it a gun at all, but just make it an extension so you can see further away. Look at that. El Creepo. Ha ha! Da 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 da! He's like Triclops on steroids. You can actually take his eye and put it where he wants. Ooh. That is funny. Alright, so I get this eye out of there again. Oh no, I forgot about something. I super glued this guy's neck because it was super loose. Okay, good. It must have been hardened already. And I was going to keep moving it once in a while to make sure that I got it. This thing was super loose before, and now it's tightened up with a little bit of super glue. There we go. Much better. Now it doesn't flop and mop around. Alright, never mind. I digress. Let's get back to the figure at hand. And let's put the yellow eyes in. And stick on his mask. His face. There we go. I'm still debating on how I feel about this guy. I mean, it is kind of fun, cool. I like the eyes thing, but I'm just not completely digging the lack of blue around his eyes. I don't know, it just looks weird. This one looks good, but the orange, they need to be more yellow. That's what the problem is. They're not yellow enough to be yellow. They mesh too much with the red, and the blue would offset that. It's getting easier to pluck these eyes in and out. Oh, but that's a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, height. Yes, yes. Let's compare him, because I'm going to use him in my classics. Compare him to the classics He-Man and see how big he is compared to a regular classics figure. He-Man. Oh, he's huge. He is monstrous. I should have him stand straight. Look at that. Alright, let's compare him to my Beast Man. My other monster of the universe I like to compare sizes with. He's a little bigger than Beast Man. I don't know how I feel about that. I like my Beast Man being big. How about next to Too Baddie? He's comparable in size to Too Bad. Holy cow. Nope, eyeballs are rolling. That is one big dude. So if you get him, he's like the same size as your Too Bad. That's crazy. Alright, one last comparison. Let's compare him to the 40th anniversary He-Man. And I'll put him side by side so you guys can see. And he's quite a bit bigger than the 40th anniversary He-Man too. Because here's the top of his head here. Beep. So there we go. Alright. And that is all that I got. So, is he worth it? Oh yeah. This guy is amazing. And definitely worth it. He's a great Monsters of the Universe figure. I'm going to add to my Monsters of the Universe collection. Very cool. Now I have to get a bigger box for my Monsters of the Universe because they just fit in there just super tight right now. And that is all that I have. So like they say in the 1987 movie, good journey. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it!